Good morning. So today I have a story about a friend. Let's call him Rich. And believe it or not, he lived in, was it Arizona? Yeah, Arizona, in the Phoenix area. And he was a meteorologist. And then he had either a really bad heart attack or stroke at a young age and had to retire young. But he was like, well off financially, and he was divorced once. And he started dating again before he had his, well, he started off with like a mild one, and anyway, I'm kind of going off on a tangent once again. So anyway, he and I struck up a friendship, and we used to talk about men and women and relationships and dating and all of that. So after his divorce, I guess he started dating like crazy, and then he ended up meeting a Canadian woman on Plenty of Fish, of all places, and moved to Canada for a while and lived with her. And it didn't work out, but he always liked her, and I think they stayed in touch as friends. Then he went back to Arizona, and he kept dating and everything. And he constantly would like try to get my input, and tell me about things, and sometimes he'd even have me talk to them on the phone, like kind of like to vet them for him, like a three-way phone conversation. And it was cute. And he met one woman named Mary that he really liked, and I liked her, and I really was rooting for them, but she just couldn't bring herself at the time to commit, and he would have been everything to her, but I think she was a little bit depressed, or she had a lot of stress in her life, and I felt bad. I was really rooting for them. I liked her, but anyway, he kept at it, and then all of a sudden he contacts me, and he said, "Jeannie, I gotta tell you, I've met a really awesome woman." And he said, as soon as I met her, he said, I cleared off my calendar and I dumped all those hoes and bitches. And he said, this one I knew right away. She was very refreshing. She was divorced. She was not demanding or fussy. She was very down to earth. She was the real deal. And they moved in together, then they got married. And it's been, oh God, maybe 15 years at least. Very happy together. He did suffer another episode of either a stroke or a heart attack, and is mainly a wheelchair user. And they're still together. And he talked about her all the time. Her name is Patty. And he said, like, when he met her, he knew right away. He said, while everyone else was out posturing and posing, he was tired and done with all of that, and he was just telling the truth and being himself. And she never really was one to posture or pose. She didn't have time for that. That wasn't in her psychological makeup. And he said that despite his, alleged disability, because I don't even really consider it a disability, but despite his disability, he got a really good woman. And he said, while all those other stupid people were out posturing and posing, the two of them were keeping it real, and they recognized that in each other. And, it was awesome. And I remember him telling me one time after they got married, they took a trip to the Grand Canyon, and they took her grandkids, and I think the adult children came along. And they went into a gift shop, and she was admiring a pair of sandals, but then she said, oh, no, these are way too much money, not worth it. She was very down to earth. And I remember him telling me this story. I could hear his voice. He said that they left the gift shop and that he went back and bought them for her, even though she said, oh no, this is way overpriced. He said, you know why? Because she deserved them. He said, because of what she said. If she were in there like this money-grubbing, grabby hoe, he wouldn't have even been with her. But he said he liked how she would say, like, oh, no, I like these, but no, these are overpriced. And he said she deserves them. And the way he said it so emphatically, and it made me so happy just to hear about them. And back when I was doing like all this crazy dating, I would, confide to him and get advice like a brother. And he gave me a lot of good advice. And one time I went through a bad experience with someone that I knew from in real life, and I was crying to him on the phone hysterically. And he really listened and comforted me. And a lot of times I would talk to him and his wife, like, a three-way phone conversation. And they would give me lots of good advice, lots. And we sort of have lost touch. And once in a blue moon I'd hear from him. And maybe I'll look his wife up and look him up to see how they're doing. But I think they're doing fine because they're two real people, real, living in the real world. Neither one of them had unrealistic expectations. And unfortunately for them, I guess they finally met, but they were both on dating sites. She was new to it, and he was doing it for years. God bless him. And he kept at it. He kept at it. And he was smart enough to recognize a good woman when he met her. And I'm really, really happy for them after all these years. And, they helped me out with a lot of things, too. They gave me a lot of good advice. But, there's a lot of older people. I've referenced The Golden Bachelor. There's a lot of older people out there that are lonely. They're looking for something. If you're having a problem finding a good person, first you have to look at yourself and do your own internal work and say, well, is there something I'm doing or saying that's turning off a potential good partner? Am I looking in the wrong places? Am I giving the wrong impression? Am I not pursuing aggressively enough? Or am I too passive? And there are different standards for men and women. And yeah, we're supposed to have equal rights, but biologically, a man is still a man and a woman is still a woman. So anyway, if there's anyone out there listening, I got inspired to tell this story because I read somebody's post this morning. They shared something out, and yeah, both genders kind of can suffer from the same thing, And I do have a story, but I think it would be tooting my own horn about years ago when I used to go to these like single mixers in Connecticut. That's another story. Nothing strange or bizarre. It was kind of cute, actually. Anyway, everyone, have a great day. Bye.